Hey guys, this is Heather from healthyeatingstartshere.com. Alright, I have a good question for you today. Which is more fattening, fat or sugar? I got this question recently and I thought it deserved a more in-depth look than just a simple, quick answer because there are a lot of factors that go into play here. The first thing I want to say is that before you look at which one is more fattening, you have to look at the type of fat and the type of sugar that you're looking at. So there are bad sugars, those are the refined ones like white sugar, brown sugar, high fructose corn syrup, all that bad stuff. And then there are good sugars that come from fruits and complex carbohydrates. They get broken down into sugar in your body. So they're not, you wouldn't always call them sugar, but things like brown rice, lentils, those are carbohydrates. And so there's a difference there. There's a difference between the different types of fats. So refined, again, are the bad ones, where you have really refined oils and the trans fats that are created in processed foods. Those are bad fats. And then if you look at good fats, you're looking at whole foods, nuts, seeds, avocados, and the little bits of fat that are in pretty much every single food. You also want to look at the balance of fat in terms of its ratio for fat versus protein versus carbohydrates, because the right balance is what's going to make sure that your metabolism is efficient. If any one of those macronutrients is out of balance, then your metabolism isn't going to be as efficient. And so either one can cause weight gain or be fattening. So, okay, once we get that stuff out of the way, let's take a look right down to the fats versus sugars question. On the most basic level, fats have 9 calories per gram, whereas carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram. So for the same volume of the same volume of fat or carbohydrate, you're going to get more calories if you're eating fat. So that makes it look like fat has more fattening potential. The other thing too is that fat foods tend to be the most calorie dense foods, not just because they have the fat calories, but they're also dense in carbohydrates and protein. So if you look at a handful of almonds versus an apple, you're looking at about the same number of calories, but the apple has a lot of water, has a lot of fiber, and has more volume than the almonds, so it fills up your stomach more. And that's basically what calorie density comes down to, is whatever fills your stomach up the most is the least calorie dense. And it can be really, really easy to overeat on things like nuts because you don't realize how many calories they actually have. And it's partially because of the fat, but partially also because of this calorie density. Things aren't as simple as that though. If we look at sugar, it has an effect on the insulin level in your body. So if you eat too much sugar, not only does it throw your metabolism out if you have the wrong balance, but it can also cause your body to produce too much insulin, especially if you eat the wrong type of sugar. If you eat refined sugars, your body's going to produce insulin like crazy, and then it's going to actually cause your blood sugar level to dip because it's going to produce insulin, and then all of a sudden the sugar's going to run out, but it takes a little bit longer for the insulin production to slow down. So you get a sugar crash, which I'm sure you've all had it. I've had it many times. And what happens there is you feel tired, you feel weak, you feel hungry, you want to eat. So eating too much sugar can actually create a desire to eat more, and it can feed into cravings for more sugar, which just repeats the whole cycle over again. So indirectly, sugar can be fattening because it causes you to eat more than you normally would and drives you to eat by cravings. On the other hand, fat actually suppresses your appetite a little bit. And certain fats, in particular like pine nuts, are actually an appetite suppressant. They have certain things in them that reduces your appetite. And fats in general, I'm sure you've also noticed this, that if you eat a little bit of fat in a meal, it helps that meal keep you full for a longer period of time. So there are a lot of factors to think of here, and my verdict basically is that both fat and carbohydrates or sugar can be part of healthy weight loss, and they both should be included in the proper balance. And both fat and sugar can be fattening in certain ways, especially if you eat the wrong types and if you eat them in the wrong balance. So, split decision, I suppose, but I'm allowed to do that, right? There are good and bad sides to both, and when it's whole, healthy foods, that balance is especially important. But for the most part, get rid of the bad ones, and then when you get to the good ones, just keep it in balance. So if you want more info, of course, head over to my website, healthyeatingstartshere.com. Lots of info about health and nutrition and weight loss posted up there. And I want to hear your thoughts, what you think about fats versus sugars, whether you've had experiences with the sugar crash, with the eating too many nuts. These are all pretty common. So let me know what you think, and I will see you guys next time.